First off, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. Illegal drugs are a big problem in the United States and worldwide. But which type of drug is the biggest problem is a good question that a lot of people have. You guys ever come home from work sore, exhausted, and want to unwind, but you don't want to be hungover the next day? Or maybe you have pain in your joints and back, but regular medicines don't work for you. Or possibly you have trouble sleeping at night and regular sleeping medicines don't work for you anymore. Well, the answer to all these questions is marijuana. But this can only happen if marijuana is legalized. Marijuana should be legalized. Why legalize a drug that's such a big problem? Well, I'm about to tell you why. But I'd like to start out by saying marijuana is so popular everywhere in the world, especially for young people, that it is the only illicit drug that people use recreationally that is not a felony. Because can you imagine if it was, how many young kids' lives would be ruined? Like if someone was a senior in high school, was smoking a doobie with his friends, and he got pulled over by a cop, that would be a felony. He could go to jail for that, and his entire life has changed. He can't get certain jobs at places. It'll change his entire life just because of that. And that will fill up jails really fast too. We just don't have that much room for people in the jails. Also, most drug cartels make most of their money solely from marijuana. Christopher Ingram says agents snagged nearly 1.5 million pounds of marijuana at the border, down from a peak of nearly 4 million pounds in 2009. That's a lot of marijuana coming from Mexico to here because of the drug cartels. If it was legalized, it would reduce cartels' income, major source of income, significantly. And you would give them less money, less guns, less power, less control. And let's not forget just regular crime in the United States. For example, small-time drug dealers. It would significantly reduce drug gang violence as well if marijuana was legalized. And it would affect less young kids' lives because it wouldn't be looked down upon as it is now and prevent them from falling in with the wrong crowd. It wouldn't be nearly as bad. It wouldn't be considered as bad. Not to mention the economic benefits of legalization, which the main one being the money made from taxes on it. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Mrinalini Krishna says in 2015, Colorado collected more than $135 million in taxes and fees on medical and recreational marijuana. That's a very significant amount of money. And personally, I'd rather have that money go into my government to help support me than to have go into drug cartels to help support more crime. Not only will legalization of marijuana help in that way, but it will also help in a medicinal way. There are many medicinal uses for marijuana. For example, it can help you, it can be used for sleep, and it has far less side effects than other prescription drugs. It can also be cheaper than other prescription drugs and less addictive than other prescription drugs. And for those people who don't want the high feeling but still want to use marijuana, there's hope for you too. Marijuana is made of two chemicals, THC and CBD. THC is the one that gets you high. CBD is the medical one. And you can extract that and use it, and you'll have no high feeling at all. It can also be used for pain, and it's a lot less harmful on your liver than repeatedly taking over-the-counter or prescription drugs every single day for pain. The National Institute on Drug Abuse says in one of their studies suggested a link between medical marijuana legalization and fewer overdose deaths from prescription opioids. That sounds pretty significant to me. But the uses for marijuana don't stop there. There's recreational use as well. And when you think about it, the only thing we have for recreational use now is alcohol and cigarettes, which are basically two of the worst drugs out there for you, but they're both legal. Alcohol is one of the very few drugs that can kill you just from withdrawals alone. So marijuana is safer than alcohol, it can be cheaper than alcohol, It's less addictive than alcohol, and it's basically impossible to overdose on it. It's more likely that you would have a giant brick of marijuana fall on your head and kill you than you get too high. You would have to smoke your entire body weight, basically, in order for it to kill you. Also, even though it's still illegal by far, and it won't ever be legal, I doubt it will, it's still safer to drive high than drunk. There are studies proving that you're more coherent high than drunk. Also, there's no hangover, and last but not least, you're far less likely to do something really dumb when you're high than when you're drunk. The dumbest thing you're about to do when you're high is probably eat all your food. The dumbest thing when you're drunk is who knows what. You could black out, drive your car, go to your friend's house, like break in somewhere. Who really knows? You could not even know what happened. And I'd like to end by saying marijuana will be safer and more useful in both medical and recreational use if legalized than if it remains illegal. Even though marijuana is the biggest drug problem in the United States, it can be the biggest solution on the war on drugs as well. Thank you.